Now I'm on my way to a job. It's about 50 miles away from where I live, and I don't normally do that. It's a special case, this job. These people had a house fire. They went all the way through the roof. They lost everything, and it was all due to a magnifying glass being on the table. Sun came in, set fire to the curtains. They've had 2 years of disruption. They're about 80 years old. They've really had enough. So they're back in their house. It's all been done. And when they walked across the floors, there was a distinct bounce, like a trampoline. Bounce, bounce, all the way. They got onto the flooring company. The flooring company said, oh, nothing to do with us. The insurance company said, pre-existing problem. It's nothing to do with us. Their surveyor has been out and looked at it, and he said there's evidence that there was some kind of repair. And everyone's run away from it. They left the couple high and dry. I looked at the photographs that he looked at. I don't agree with it's pre-existing, and the fact they didn't have a bounce beforehand suggests that it's something new. I spoke to Dan Cox, I spoke to James King, I said, what do you think, guys? And they said it sounds like they didn't leave enough expansion on the floor, and that what it's done is it's expanded and it's pushed the floor up in the middle. It's kind of arched, bowed up. So what I'm going to try and do is crawl under the floor. There's not a lot of space, there's around 2 feet, but I reckon I can crawl under the floor and pack and with packers, and then dry pack under the wall plate where it sits on top of the honeycomb wall. The back isn't the problem, the front is the problem, because that 2 feet ends up as 18 inches when you go in the front, and I'm not sure whether the 18 inches is enough. And if it's not enough, I've only done half a job, and they're no better off because they'll have to have the front room floor taken up in order to do it. I'm not going to charge them if I can't do the job. The repair to the floor is going to be interesting because the way they've cut it is not nice, it's not pretty. They didn't think about anybody putting that floor back. They were more or less saying, well, the whole floor's got to come up anyway. But I think I can get to the front of the house through the understairs cupboard. There's a couple of floorboards I can take up there, and I think I can crawl under there. It's just a question of whether there's enough height there for me to do the job. And the only trouble is, where's James?
Hello, mate. Smile.
I didn't realise you were in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's my extra long arms. I managed to get them down there.
Oh, that's good.
Take that down the scrapyard. Oh, it's a bit of electrical conduit.
I think I've grown, James. I think what happened, mate, is you fed me those biscuits. I put a little weight on.
It's like being born again.
Actually, I've got to go back to the bucket. I didn't bring the bucket.
I'll get it.
Well, I got in. If I'm going to get out, I don't know how, but it may well be that we end up having to remove this flow and return, this pipe work here, because this is right in the way. But we'll try and get away without doing it, but otherwise we'll have to drain the system down and move those pipes.
And get wet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe we won't. All right, I'll persist, all right?
All right. See you tomorrow.
That's all it is, James. I wanted to be the other way round, really.
Yeah.
Come on. Can I have that camera in that? Yep. That's the offending thing. So this is my plan of action. It was easy enough to get under that back floor, but this one is very, very tight indeed. But what I've done on both rooms is I've packed the joists up all the way along. I carefully measured the gap and selected the right packers to go all the way along, and I've done that at about, say, 300 centres. And then I've dry packed the gap between the wall plate and the wall with fairly strong mix of sand and cement, and I've just tried to push that in there the best I can with my finger trowel. And there's always There's a little bit of shrinkage with dry pack, but there's so little in there that it won't shrink very much. And I reckon that once it's dry and those packers have kind of bedded slightly into the bottom of the timber, there won't be any movement there. And if there were any movement, it would be a fraction of a millimetre. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's not an easy job under here, but somebody's got to do it. Meanwhile, James is up above eating biscuits. So you're back in the building game now, James?
One day only.
A special appointment.
Yeah.
To be fair, I just needed somebody up above the floor who knew what they were doing, who could hand me the right things at the right time. And you know, some people I get to say, "Oh, hand me a trowel," and half an hour later I get a trowel. And when you're down there and you start getting grumpy, it's game over. So
yeah, you couldn't find anyone, so you got me instead.
No, I couldn't find anybody good, mate. That's the trouble. So that's it.
Yeah.
We did it. All the floors are solid. I think the only one that is a problem is the back one.
Well, that's
just
an
here.
extension there, isn't it?
And it's an extension, so we're not going to get under that anyway, but it feels alright.
It's alright at the end. This was the worst part in here.
This was it bouncing, wasn't it? This was where we had 10-15 mil gap between the wall plate and the dwarf wall.
All the peas were rolling off their plates when they were having dinner.